To the extent, I am sometimes watching Liverpool, and the wife in the room sends a WhatsApp, "Can you get to bed? It's time to go to sleep." In the same house. Social media, whose developments was first marshaled by Web 2.0. Now this is slightly technical. Web 2.0s were static web pages. And many of our Seventh-day Adventist churches that have Facebook pages and websites, if you go to them 5 years later, you'll see they got the same information. That word Adventist is still spelled incorrect. They haven't even corrected the dot. Their pages are so static. If you want to get into modern technology and if you want to be with it, that content has to change. People come to your website once, they see join the ASI, SID, and they see no movement. I've seen that the year before last, I've seen that the year before that. So that is so important. Social media was developed, I told you, first with a static thing in mind, and then it changed totally from user-generated content. Today, you sitting here call the shots. Do you know that? You decide what people should post. This is how the entire world of communication has changed. I give you a very brief one. My daughter had just turned 16, and I thought, as a good high school principal, let me buy my daughter her first, it was still called a laptop. And we got it for her on a Thursday afternoon. I was busy with Friday getting ready for church. Saturday was Sabbath. So Sunday morning I said, "Don't worry, my child, I'll put it together for you." When we took it out on TV, there was a later model available. 4 days later, you can't keep up with technology. Just listen to this. What cell phone do you use, sir? iPhone. What model? iPhone 13. Yours, ma'am, what phone do you use? Oh, wow. What phone do you use, sir? iPhone. What phone do you use, sir? Oh, Samsung, the Koreans are here. Nobody uses Vodacom? The Vodacom have their own cell phones too. Do you know that? It's for the entry people. But basically, we are saying technology is changing at such an amazing speed we can't keep up. The platforms which are topping the charts today are not the same tomorrow. Also, it can be observed that the power has shifted, I told you earlier on, from the hands of the marketers to the users. So we just see how powerful users are. The cell phone industry, I don't have the stats on hand, but it is staggering the amount of money they're making. I don't see any ASI member in the cell phone industry, in the mobile technology, because all you do is sit and go to church and the money rolls in the bank. It's a model we can look at. It's a model we can look at. Why is social media so powerful? Please stay with me. I know this is if you need the aircon, just pick up your hand and I'll get it going there at the back. Can we have the aircon, please, members? Please put it on because we will all be sunbathing shortly. Thank you there, Noel, if we can get the aircon going. Thank you, my brother. This morning, Pastor PAPU said something, and I was wondering if he read my notes. If you don't talk to your customers and tell them what you do, how will they ever know? Rusanga University, if you don't ever tell me who you are, where you are and what you do, how will we ever know? This is what social media is all about. The aircon will come on shortly. For those of you who are hot under the collar. A social media presence and strategy are no longer optional for your business. Please listen to me. Whether your business is a startup, whether you're a massive conglomerate, if you want to prosper in today's digital environment, you need to come on board. 80% of business executives say social media is an absolute necessity for their company's success. But listen to this, 91% of the executives say they plan to increase their social media budget just to stay abroad with everybody. So briefly, I want to just give you 5 important points, but stay with me and see how we can use this for mission. It is getting extremely hot, so we'll have to open the windows whilst the aircon. I think you saw the power we lost power just now, and the lights came on. I really thought I was back home in South Africa with load shedding, but it should be on shortly. Number 1, please, it increases online presence. There's the aircon working, I felt it. If people are unaware of your business, there's no way they're going to be doing business with you. Social media can increase your online presence because it has an incredible reach. You know how many people will be able to see your project if you go, your product if you go online? 4.55 billion people. That's almost 57% of the world today use social media. What a powerful tool. What a powerful tool. Number 2, it builds authenticity. Now this is so important. If you're selling a product and you're selling face products, but you come on once a year to come and tell me what your products are at every annual ASI conference. 2 weeks later, I forget what you said. You need to have in-your-face advertising. When I say the word Coca-Cola, I'm asking you right now, let's leave our health message aside. Remember this morning, you gave me good advice, but I said, are you making money? We're talking business now. When you mention Coca-Cola, it is a brand that sells itself. I remember when my 3 nephews wanted something to drink. We want Coke. So I said, but what is this? No, we want green Coke. Coke was a euphemism for cold drink. Many people today, when you want plastic, they say, I want Checkers. Oh, sorry, I'm not talking brands. I'm not supposed to talk brands right now immediately, but I'm just giving you the stats as they come about. You talk Seventh-day Adventists, it is also a brand. And we need to market it. So the more you're in people's faces with your product, the more inclined they are to trust you and to purchase what you are selling. Some of the most popular banks, they are on the advertising thing all the time in your face, and you see the return. Number 2, now this is something that I learned. It enhances SEO. This is the time where you must talk and guess. I want you to take chances. What do you think SEO stands for? Remember, we're talking social media. What is SEO? Take a guess. The only way you'll know you're wrong is when you tell me the answer. SEO, I'll give it to you. You know, on your cell phone, when you go to Google, for example, Dr. Google, and you search for Kaizer Chiefs, the next time you put your phone on, what appears first? Kaizer Chiefs. The next time you come, Kaizer Chiefs, the sites you visit, it's called a search engine optimization. The social media world are so clever. Whatever you go to the cell phone every time, it automatically ranks your views for you. I would be so impressed if I took all your cell phones now or a random sampling and I went to say, search for churches, which church would come up first? We don't go to our Adventist www.org to see our 28 fundamentals, to revisit it. We check the latest soccer scores, the sports stores, and what have you. All right, that is so important. It humanizes your business. Now, this is one you're going to say, Eugene, hold on. We're talking about social media here. Where is it going to humanize? You see, people will get to know your brand. They'll phone in. After they see you online, they get to talk to you. The secret behind social media is the constant communication between the user and the marketer. Can you see where this is going in terms of where we're lacking as a church? And then the last one, it creates a channel for customer support. Now, I'm very passionate about customer service and customer care. In fact, I present the module at the University of Pretoria, but you won't believe this, to the customer care department, I'm presenting that. It is so important to retain your customers. It is so important for us as the ASI to retain each one of you and to see you there with your friends in Angola. How we do that is the secret. All right. Methuselah, this is the one slide. If you can just put this on for me, please. I just want to show you some trends. I'd like you just to look at this. It may not be too clear from your side. Facebook is by far the social platform Americans say they use most often. But its popularity is waning and use varies widely amongst different age groups, according to a research done. Just listen to this. I want to take you through this. This is beautiful. For those under 12, look who uses social media. For those 12 years plus, 46% of them use Facebook. 18% of them use Instagram. 14% use TikTok. 7% use Twitter. 6 use Snap. 3 use Pinterest, and 6 others. There's a whole lot of. Now look at the age group 12 to 34. 20% use Facebook now only. 31 use Instagram. I'm just going to stick on those. Look at the age 35 to 54. 55% of them use Facebook. 12% use Instagram. But look at the age 55. 74% of them use Facebook. Now, let me just escape from this, brother. Okay, I'll take you through this. Is here. How can we now tap in to this wonderful selling tool? I'm zooming in. We've reached the altitude now. I'm landing the plane. So those of you who've been sleeping while we're up there, you can get up now. All right. How can we use what the social media world have been using to reach the unreached in terms of business? I am proposing that mission. We use the business principles to attract people for the kingdom of God. These are the 5 areas I'm just going to be talking very briefly to you, and then I think we'll have a break because we need a break, I think. We need to define our target audience. Imagine if Facebook went where they were, the 55-year-olds were only using Facebook and they told them to please go and use Pinterest. It was a misfit. So what I'm saying is you need to target your area. You need to target your market. While I'm talking to you, I'm going to ask Methuselah to get me back to my... If we use social media practices, how they attract customer base, we can change that to win souls for the kingdom. They can attract people from 12 years old. Now let me tell you typically what happens with the ASI in the North American division. If, let's say, the North American division were having an ASI conference in Livingston in this particular venue, 2 weeks before the time, all the youth for Jesus would have been walking around this community, handing out pamphlets, telling them, there's a big convention coming here. What is it? It's ASI. What is ASI? They would be going around, they would be doing social work. They will be alighting this area and informing them, alarming them to what is going to come. On the day when you arrive and they see cars and buses and crowds of people, they already know. They then serve as your volunteers. And what are you targeting? You're targeting your youth. You're targeting the youth to get involved. We somehow, as the church, get it wrong. We only want to target the seniors. The seniors do everything. If you look at how powerful the young people are with social media, it's actually quite scary. So define your target audience. You know you're working with young people. Why do you want to take old people's songs? You're working with young people. Why do you want to tell them they must give soup to old people? Work with projects that the young people are au fait with, that they're excited to do. Don't tell them to wear suits and ties. They can go in their jeans. It's okay. It's all right. Number 2, start blogging. Now, do you know what's a blog? I'm talking to guys who are my age here. So you're in good company. I learned this yesterday, so I'm just a little cleverer than you. Blogging is just a chat that has to change all the time. And it gives you the opportunity to respond. So it's basically an advanced WhatsApp thing. When you send a message to your friend, I can add to the message, I can like, I can dislike, and that is it. But the difference with some of your WhatsApp chats, you can keep it there. You still got it as evidence when you want to get back at your friend 3 years later. No. Blogging, it keeps it chronologically. So the latest message is on the top. If you want to go digging, you can go digging. You can really go digging. And talking about digging, I think at this time, maybe I must just say something lighthearted. They say Jesus and God forgives. But our fellow Seventh-day Adventists, when Jesus forgives and He casts our sin to the depths of the ocean, our friends go deep sea diving. And they remind us about it. Start blogging, that will be good. Create educational content. Your ordinary WhatsApp you're using, start off with their permission, a WhatsApp group doing the voice of prophecy. A simple thing, take half a card at a time. Why is the 4th commandment so important to Seventh-day Adventists? Ask your 10 friends, what do you think? And let them post back. But make certain you update your messages every day. It is so important to do that. Focus on a few social platforms. You can't go to all. If you WhatsApp, become a WhatsApp specialist. If you Facebook, stay a Facebook specialist. Because there are certain rules of engagement with all these little social media platforms. I like this one. Develop a recipe card. This recipe card is not how you make pap and curry and rice and take this and no. This recipe card it's a plan of action, your modus operandi. Today I'm posting hello. Tomorrow I'm finding out what was your response. The third day I'm finding out you didn't respond. Are you okay? So there's an aftercare all the time. You're not just selling something and walking away. You're following up on this. Measure your results. It's so important to measure your results. And you know how you measure your results? On these things. There's a section on Facebook called Insights. You can see how many people read your stuff. On Instagram, there's accounts. You can check that. There are so many metrics you can use to assess where people are. There's visitor analytics and so many other things. 2 more and then we're done. Adjust your tactics. You've been sending WhatsApp messages and Facebook messages and you're getting no replies. Maybe they don't have data. Try something else. Go live. Then you get back. You need to win people. And the most important thing I can give to you is pray. Pray before the project, pray during the project, and pray after the project. Okay, now is the most exciting part as I bring my presentation to a close, and I need you to listen to me. Please listen to me carefully. Everybody have a sip of water. Let's do it together. This is a group activity. Everybody have a sip of water. Everybody, I want to see your group. Yeah. Because what I tell you is most important. Our group activity, I hope your water tastes as good as mine. You know, during COVID, Zoom and MS Teams became the 2 most fantastic means of communication. Okay, I start off with a soppy story, but a real story. In June 2020, my dad, who looks younger than me, at 87, decides he needs to go for his annual checkup. I said, Dad, stay away from the hospital. It's not necessary. He insisted. He went, he picked up COVID. 2 weeks later, we buried him. My baby brother, who lives in Sandton, 6 months later, pined for his dad, met a friend, picked up COVID, and I lost my baby brother. So in 6 months, I lost my dad and my baby brother. I was paranoid about going back to church. I'm the church organist, the pianist, the head elder. And you know when you get involved with church? And so I looked and I prayed. And I got onto MS Teams. Now I want you to know this. Please, I'm not discouraging people from attending church. But churches were closed. In South Africa, it was a bit heavy. But since lockdown up to now, we have a regular group of 35 people on a Friday evening that open Sabbath together, and on Sabbath that have a fully interactive church experience. We have Sabbath school, we have interactive lesson study. We have the world as our oyster for the best sermons around the world. We screen them, we preview them, we take them to 30 minutes because we respect the people's data. Every member has an opportunity to give us a takeaway. Now, let me compare that to a church. When you go to church, you say good morning, you sing a few songs, and you say goodbye. If there's a group that you like, you stand in front of hours a week, and most of the time it's bus stop talk. Yeah, it was cold, so I never go here. Yeah, no, I didn't watch the soccer match. No, we did this. There's really nothing to talk about. The Atlasville Online Church, we have a representative, an elder on the church board. And we've made provision for people to attend church who are not paranoid, who are not scared, who haven't had the experience, and for those to attend online. Now let me tell you what happens. Our church starts 9:15 on the dot. When it's a regular church, I leave home at 9:15. You know what I'm saying? We make God wait for us at church. We've learned discipline this last 3 years. We've used social media. We've had, and Dr. Bonya has conducted several of our communion services. We've had Agape online communion service. My home, I want to tell you, has changed. I don't shout so much in my house anymore because it is a dedicated church now. Isn't that what our homes should be? My daughters and my wife are the deacons and the head deaconess, and I'm the priest in my home. We have all the communion things laid on the table, and it's conducted online, and we follow the pastor with the communion service. We've had dedications, we've had sermons, but here's the best thing that has happened the last 3 years. We've had 2 baptisms. Online. And I see my wife is not here. I'm happy, so I can talk about her now. She's expecting my presentation to be next. She did online Bible studies with 2 candidates. They started in Johannesburg. They moved to Zimbabwe. Got baptized 2 months ago in Zimbabwe. Opportunities with social media. Simple stuff. And I didn't even know how to spell computer. But all you need to do is have a plan. But there's a big word, commitment. If you start, don't quit. Don't start rather if you're not going to go the full spiel. Similarly with your business. If you're starting to go the social media way, go the full way. There are going to be dark days. There are going to be good days. A Muslim friend of mine said to me, Eugene, you see me driving this C63 AMG. And what a car. Not even registered. I said, yeah, but this is your 5th one. He says, let me tell you, there are days when I get up at 4 o'clock, I go and do my prayers and I go to the shop. I don't make 1 cent of business. There are months I don't. But the Friday when I just think, let me rather close early and go to mosque, I wait and last minute, somebody comes in and buys goods that gives me all my money that I need. Commitment and patience and tolerance and be long-suffering. If you do something, doesn't it sound like a recipe to go to heaven? So there are business principles we can use from the world of work to mission. I thought it was going to be a tough one. I did take some of you on a bit of a sleepy journey, but I hope you've benefited from this little presentation. It works. It works. Let us, we're talking about the cosmic messages, the 3 angels' messages. We're saying in the last days, the Lord will use stones. He's using PCs. We're using social media at the moment. You just see somebody does something bad, it goes viral on TikTok. Before you know it, he's had 1 million hits. We need to have changed that energy for mission. God bless us as we thrive in our businesses, as you do my mantra, make money, honestly. Join organizations like the ASI where we can encourage each other. But for mission, most importantly, it can happen. I have proof, the case study. And just as a matter of interest, tomorrow evening, whilst we're here, I will go live and give my 5 cents at our church as well. So there's no way I can say I can't make it to church, whether I'm in London, whether I'm in England. If there's internet, I'm at church. God bless each one of you, and thank you for listening to me. I must call my president to find out if he's ready for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to disturb us now. But I seriously think we need fresh air. Do you agree? So I'm just going to confirm with him as he's walking up here. I didn't want to disturb everybody, hoping that our delegation would have arrived, but they haven't yet.
We are going through our theme song. Once again, I'll go where you want me to go, dear Lord. This is our motto. This is our mission. This is our desire.
He's a bit on the slow side on our music, but we thank him. What do you say to him? Thank you so much. We've gotten overspill. So there is another connection downstairs on the registration. There is another space available. And people actually watching live downstairs. But in the meantime, some few changes on your programs. Permit me to adjust and do some adjustments. We are going to call upon Liza Zindoga. Liza Zindoga will lead us according to her CV, which is here. You are all exposed to it. She says when people share common interests or goals, Liza connects them together. When one person has a problem, the other can and should solve. I've added something there. She introduces them in a typical serial network fashion. She's a holder of bachelor's, honors in electronic engineering from NUST Zimbabwe, diploma in real estate. I think she's coming now up front. Oh, thank you. Also a certified professional life coach. She's also a businesswoman and currently serving as a women's ministries director. Shall we give a hand to Liza as she's coming up front? Thank you so much. She'll take us through the networking procedures, then we will take a break. After she's done, we'll come back briefly for the breakaways. We have dynamic speakers lined up for our breakaways. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elder. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we feeling today? Okay, we had a little bit of a typo there on the presentation. It should say networking unusual. Remember our theme. What is our theme for the convention? So we want to network in an unusual way. We are used to, I'm sure we have networking skills that we have as individuals, but my purpose today is just to share certain skills and tips that will help us as we network. There you go. Okay. Something's happened to my slide. Okay. Anyway, we'll go to the objectives. I had a list of objectives for the presentation today. We, as ASI, we want to see why we should network. We are all here. I think we're over 200, correct, Elder? So from the number that we are, we want to see how best we can come out of this convention with as many contacts as we can. As business people, we believe that having contacts, our network is essentially our net worth. The people you know will open doors for you. The people you know will help you as you go about. So one way we serve as ASI members is to support our members' organizations and individual entrepreneurs in the room and professionals in sharing Christ in the marketplace. How do we share Christ in the marketplace if you can't approach the next person, talk to them, get to know them, and then share Christ in the marketplace? I have a question for us in the room. Who is the greatest networker of all time? Anyone? Amen. Yes, it is Jesus. He is the greatest networker of all time. And as Christians, we are always trying to follow the footsteps of Jesus. And we are here at this convention, at any networking event, we need to be able to connect with the next individual and build that connection. My slides are messed up. Let me see. Let me just try and use my phone and get to the next step. So, leaning on Jesus' experience, we see how he himself networked as he was here. Just give me a second. I am going to the okay. So the objectives, let me go back to my objectives. We want to understand why we should network. I'm sure we all understand why we need to network. And then I'll share a few tips on how to build connections through networking. And then I'll give each one of us a challenge for this particular convention. So at the end of the convention, I'll come to you. If I don't come to you, maybe by yourself, you'll see how well you've done with the challenge. So as the Jesus example I was giving, he built a network with a purpose. You need to have a purpose-driven network. So as you come to this convention, I would encourage you to have an agenda. I spoke to one gentleman who's wanting to expand their business into Zambia. So they are here for the convention. They should use this opportunity to build that network that they need to establish the business that they want to have in Zambia. So number one, I hope you guys are taking notes. I see you just looking at me. And number one, have a purpose. I'm particularly just talking about networking. As you connect to people, what are you trying to achieve? What goals do you have in order to make that network? So have a purpose-driven network. The network that you're building has to have a purpose. That's number one. This is what Jesus was doing. We all know why Jesus was building his network. They were just to point everybody to the Lord. So as we are doing our thing, let's have a purpose for our networking. As we are building the network, let's serve others. Those that know me know that I do like serving others. And let's be like that. Let's support each other, give others whatever it is that they ask for, and that network that you've built becomes stronger. Network with people who are not like you. We are on a mission, correct? So if we network amongst ourselves, okay, this convention is amongst ourselves, but as we share Christ in the marketplace, we are connecting with others unlike us, trying to bring them to us. So find opportunities to network with people that are unlike us. What I personally do, I am a member of a number of organizations, international organizations, creating opportunities for networking. I am a Toastmaster. Hands up, those who know what Toastmasters is. See one hand at the back? Ooh, okay, the hands are coming up. I am a Rotarian. I have my fellow Rotarians in the room. Are you there? My fellow Rotarians, you're right there at the back. It's an international organization. Also a great place to network, with people across the world. I am a member of ASI, amen? Amen. It's a great place to network. So as you as you work on your business and your professional life, it is essential that you become a member of such bodies that build you and support others as well. But the key thing being what? Today I'm talking about networking. So be in those organizations for networking. Now, sorry, my slides now. I think I can go to the next. Okay, now to the tips on how to build connections through networking. Number one, have an elevator pitch. Earlier on, Brother Eugene was going around with the mic. So be ready. You don't know when the mic is coming to you. Be ready with that pitch, because you're given that 10 seconds to sell yourself, and you need to sell yourself with power. I'm going to give you a few examples of how to structure your elevator pitch. 10 seconds to wow me. So I think after we give this exercise, we just give a few people to see if they were listening and they were getting how they can pitch themselves. But by the way, those that pitch themselves, you did great. You did very well. You need to just make sure you're communicating the important points as you are giving your elevator pitch, or as you are connecting with the person that you're meeting for the first time. Set personal goals. Remember, if you're coming to an event, any event is an opportunity to network. So I have goals for networking. I personally have set my goals for this particular convention. I am going to meet 10 people, not from Zimbabwe. I think I know almost all Zimbabweans. Not from Zimbabwe. Why? Number one, I spoke about purpose, which my husband and I, we run a business, an electrical engineering company. We are working on expanding into the region. Number one destination being Zambia. We've expanded into South Africa, we want to expand into Zambia. So my purpose for this particular convention is to make 10 connections from Zambia. 10 connections. Connection doesn't mean that I just meet Eugene and say, hi Eugene, how are you? That's the usual way of doing it. This time we want to do it the unusual way. We meet somebody, we get their contacts, and we follow up on the contacts. I will show you towards the end how best to quickly get somebody's contacts, especially for those that registered early. You have the opportunity to do that. That's setting personal goals. Decide on the talking points. As I said, I wear many hats. I spoke about Toastmasters, I've got a business, I'm a Rotarian. So I decide on what I want to talk to my brother here about. I just can't put everything on him. He won't remember what I'm about, because I will talk about all the things that I'm doing, and then you say, I did meet a woman, but I don't know exactly what does she do. So you need to choose the talking points that you're going to share. All right, I did speak about the elevator pitch. Let me just see if the slide is agreeing with my points here. Okay. The elevator pitch, I've got 3 examples of how you can create your very own tailor-made elevator pitch. Remember, now when you do wear many hats, you might need a number of them, not just one. I think that's where we are. We go to the next slide. Okay. So here's an example of how you can do that 10 minutes message, a memorable message, memorable marketing message for yourself, for your business, for whatever else that you're trying to sell. But this particular one probably just speaks to you. You can say, I'm most passionate about personal growth. That's why I'm a Toastmaster. It's just in 10 seconds you're introducing yourself. I'm most passionate about, you know what you're passionate about. We'll do the exercise and see what people are passionate about. I am most passionate about, and that's why I am a Toastmaster. All right. The other slides, I think they just got lost somewhere. Okay, I've got it here. Not to worry. The other one is, you can say, I am, my name, I'm Liza Zindoga. I help young people understand how to gain their confidence so that they can be better individuals. So the suggestion is, I am, dash, so you say your name. I help whatever group of people you're helping. I help business people. I help people in agriculture, let me try and do the one for my business. I help industry, mining, agriculture, domestic users get electricity so that they can power their lives. That's my elevator pitch for my business. So you talk about who you are, what you do, in just a few sentences, just 2 sentences, what you do and why you do it and who you do it for, so that you really, people don't have time. We know that these days people, and we are 200 and something in this room. I want to network with almost everybody, so I need to just sell myself as quickly as I can. And the other one would be, I wear a lot of hats. For example, a Toastmaster, a Rotarian, an engineer, but they also have a lot in common, like connecting with people, giving them service, and so on and so on, whatever it is that you do that leads you to that. So that's basically the elevator pitches that you can use when you meet people that you don't know, that you're trying to connect to. The 3 examples, I'm sure you'll find one that really suits you and easy for you to fit in what you do, and you can share with the individuals. Now, the challenge that I have for each and every one of us in this room as we network and connect during this conference and any other conferences is, number 1, let's have a goal. I shared my goal. So you have your goal for networking. And connecting, the kind of connecting I'm talking about is not just the hi, how are you? Last night I met somebody from my hometown in Gweru. And I just said, hi, how are you? I didn't even ask for their number. Now when I think, I met somebody at the convention, but I didn't get their number, it will be difficult for me to then go back to the groups and say, I'm looking for a guy from City of Gweru. Where is the guy from City of Gweru? He's not in here. Because I didn't get the contact. Now I don't know where to get them. So this is the usual way we're doing things, of just talking to people, not getting their contacts, and then we forget all about them. This time we want to do the unusual thing. Make sure you get that contact. And the conference, the convention organizers did something for us. Let's take a look at our tags. All of us. Do you have a QR code on your tag? If you don't, I'm sorry, it's unfortunate. But for those that have QR codes on their tags, this is a V card. It's a business card. So try and do it for the person next to you. Take your phone, go to the camera, and scan the QR code of your neighbor. Let's do it. It's an exercise. Let's do it. Those with QR codes on their cards, Eugene, you can also try and scan mine. Do you have a phone? I'm making an assumption we all have phones that are smart, that are on the internet. You don't have any other internet. But we often do have internet on our phones. Do you want to scan mine? Lovely. Yay. You're going to get my contact. That's nice. Scan it. Oh, okay. Just open your camera.
Okay.
Yes. So he's got my number. He's got my email address. So when we're chatting and, hi, you don't have a QR code. Hi, how are you? Okay. So that's a very quick way of getting somebody's contacts and making sure you have them. I won't have that problem that I've got with the City of Area guy, City of Gweru guy, I can't seem to find. Is it working? Anybody? Is it working for you? It's working? It's not working. Do you have You need internet. Your phone needs to be on the internet. It's on. Okay, so anybody who's got challenges, please come and see me so I can scan your codes and get to my goal quickly, get my 10 down very quickly. So my challenge is, have your goal. I've got mine. I've got 10. Maybe you want to have 50 people that you know. That's your goal. Have your goal set and make sure you have those contacts and follow up on the contacts. Just don't get my number and not say, hi, it's me, sister, we met at the so that we continue that conversation and we build that connection. So at the end of the convention, at the dinner, I don't know what I should say about, I will ask a few people to just share how many people they've connected to and they've maintained that connection with. So for those without QR codes, just get the numbers manually. It's a lot of work. It seems like a lot of work, but it's one of those things that we need to do. Let's get those contacts. Let's make those connections, because I strongly believe that connection will open that door for you that should need to be opened. Yes. Thank you very much, my brother. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That was absolutely nice. Put our hands together. We generally take these simple things for granted, and it is so important. So I'm going to encourage you to continue with the exercise. You may have had a challenge inside. I think all of us went onto the same Fairmont Wi-Fi, and it said one at a time. We're going to have our tea break. And if you can be back in a few minutes, that will be lovely. Let me give you the time now. What's the time, ma'am? 15? 15:30. On time. Okay, if you look at your program, I need you back here at how long for tea? 15 minutes. Will 15 minutes be enough for you, brother? We friends, make it 20 minutes. Can we have a 20-minute break? We need to catch up with our 2 breakaway sessions. Go outside, run on the spot, have something to drink, and come back. 20 minutes. God bless. We adjourn for 20 minutes.